Hi, this is Ben from nerdballoon.com, and this is In Retro Episode 2 Extended. The first part was kind of an edited little crazy thing that I did, but in this this extended portion, I'm going to go much more in depth into this awesome game known as Defender of the Crown, which came out in 1986. I'm not going to leave anything no rock unturned here. I'm just going to show everything. It's totally uncut, and I hope you enjoy it. I mean, if you've gotten this far, you probably want to see some more Defender of the Crown, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So, first off, who am I going to be? Depends. Hold on, I got someone bugging me here to join a game of Team Fort 2, but I can't do that right now because I am doing a extended long play of Defender of the Crown. So, like I said, who am I gonna pick? I'm probably gonna pick. Well, I don't really care about the jousting portion of this game. I do, on the other hand, care about the raiding part of it. So I think I'll select Geoffrey Longsword because his swordplay is strong. His jousting is average, so might get lucky during the joust. But if I do put myself in a position where I need to raid an enemy castle, I'll be a lot more successful if I pick Geoffrey Longsword. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust the settings on my emulator to run at a speed that is a little closer to what you would normally expect. It's not quite as slow as the standard ST, but whoops. Okay, well, I guess I'm Cedric. Now, the Saxons are these territories here in the blue, and the Normans are in the brown, kind of red territories down here in the south. So, at this point, these guys are my friends, but that will change. They will develop hatred towards me once I become more powerful, if that happens, and they will turn on me. The Normans are always against you, no matter what, right off the start, so they're your number one enemy, but just keep in mind that these guys up here will eventually turn on you. Now, I'm situated in probably the best starting position. Now, that's debatable. And I say that because I've won in all three of these starting points, and I don't know. I just find that starting here, I have a better chance for success because I am 1 away from this castle, 2 away from this castle, and 3 away from this castle. Whereas if I start up here, I kind of have to meander my way around these other territories to get to these strongholds. In addition, these territories here are very valuable and will garner you more income per month than the ones up here. And I have all those numbers written down in a bitmap. I don't have the manual for this game anymore, but you would be able to see what each of these territories are worth in the manual. But I know for certain this is about 7 or 8 gold pieces a month, whereas this territory up here is only 2 or 3 from memory. I'm just guessing that. So first thing I'm going to do is it's pretty simple, really. You don't have much choice at the very start of the game. You can either buy army with your 10 treasure, which is a very small amount of treasure to start with, but everyone starts with that. Or you can see conquest. And generally, when I start here, I don't have to worry about buying my army at this point. My army is sufficient to take that territory since it's unoccupied. It is occupied by local peasants, which will fight your men, but you generally only suffer losses under 7 men, up to 7 men actually. So I am taking a bit of a risk here by only putting 7 in my campaign army. Anyway, so I transfer them over. That means none are left in my garrison, but I'm not worried about losing my garrison because there's no enemy close by, so that's okay. I'll show you these other things later. First of all, I'm going to take this territory. Okay, so I move my army and I select this one here. And I lost 3 men, so I'm down to 4 in my campaign. Okay, so now I could go and attack this territory here, or move into this territory. However, I only got 4 guys left in my army, so they could get wasted. But let's take a look here. These territories, they also produce vassals, which are additional soldiers that will join your ranks every month. So let's see how many this one produced this month. So it produced 3. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to take those. I'm not too worried about this fella here, who is, let me see who that is. Jeffrey Longsword. Let me see that again. Actually, what I want to do is show Lord. Jeffrey actually does have a hate on for me. It's a 1. It's not that bad. I mean, if we compare that to this Lord, who's a Norman, Roger Falconbridge, he has a hate on me, which is 5. So at this point, I don't really think that Jeffrey's going to attack my castle. But even so, I'm going to attack this territory here, which means I'm only 1 away, so I can always rush back to my castle if it gets attacked. And that's one key thing you have to remember. If you are 3 territories over from your home castle, if it's attacked, it's naked. It can't defend itself. But if you stay within a territory away or at the castle, you can defend it with your campaign army. So you want to keep that in mind. So I've transferred my men to my campaign, and I'm going to move my army to this territory here. Actually, this one probably would give me more income. I don't remember the exact number, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. Okay. Loyal vassals of Sir Wulfric the Wild send him an annuity of 20 gold pieces. Wow, that's lucky. Okay, so here's a tournament. These things just happen randomly, or you can host a tournament of your own. And it's kind of a tricky jousting contest here. So I'm going to do my best. What you want to do is when you hear that clang, to press the mouse and center it on a shield. But obviously, I was not successful there, so I lost. But if I were to won that one, I would be on to the next opponent. And I think if you win 3, you are declared the champion. And I've just been ambushed by Jeffrey Longsword. Oh my! Supposedly my ally, and I repelled that. So that changed the landscape a little bit. Since he's attacking me, that kind of concerns me. So now instead of having 3 for sure enemies, I have 4. So I'm gonna have to be careful here if I want to win this game. I'm pretty much forced at this point to purchase some more men, which is fine. That's fine. I'll do that. So I'm gonna have to waste a turn here to buy army. And I'm really loving this territory here, so I'm going to throw a castle on it just to give me an extra chance to defend it if it is indeed the in the crosshairs of my enemies here, if they're looking to pick it up. There we go. Ambushed again by a Norman this time, Sir Philip Malvoisin. Fair enough. He's probably going to destroy me. Yep. So he has a pretty healthy army of 18 men and took that territory handily from me. That's fine. That is fine, because 2 can play at that game. I now have a larger army, and I'm going to show you a trick here. Now, well, it's not really a trick, it's what you're kind of supposed to do. See this here? This is this button allows you to go visit Robin, who supposedly hanging out in Sherwood Forest. And you can seek his aid 3 times during the game. And what he does really, and it took me a while to figure out exactly what he does, but he will bolster your army up to 50 men, depending on the size of the enemy. So what I just did was I put my army to 1, which is the minimum for me to go and attack this country here, or this territory here. And Robin is going to supplement my army to match this enemy's forces, and hopefully I will be successful. So I'm going to go see Robin. There's a fancy little cutscene here. So as you can see, he's willing to send men. And so we're going to take our 1 guy and go attack Philip. And as you can see, he's given me 23 men, which should be enough to defeat the enemy here. So it's kind of ace up your sleeve that you can pull out, but only 3 times total during the game. So I've used it once. I can't use it more than 2 more times. Robin's men strike at the Normans. Sir Reginald Fontainebleau loses half his income, 11 pieces of gold. That's good. That's what we want. So there's always random little cutscenes like that, and sometimes they go in your favor and sometimes they don't. So far they've been going in my favor. So what do I want to do now? Okay. So I think I would imagine that he's pretty well weakened at this point. I just took out the bulk of his army. However, I'm still concerned about my supposed friends up here to the north. I don't think I'm willing to do anything bold just yet. I'm going to disperse my men a little bit and go down and take this territory here. I think that's what I'm going to do. So during this portion of the game, I get 5 turns more or less between my territories before my turn is over. So unlike Risk, where you can only move once, you get 5 little moves here. And going back to your main garrison is always 1 move. So if I had all 4 of these territories, if I wanted to go back to my main garrison, that would be 1 move, I believe. But that's important to know, because if I had this territory, which is my home garrison, and this one, and my campaign was here, which is represented by my blue horse, I could skip all these enemy territories and go back to my main garrison. However, I couldn't go back to my the territory that I was previously in. But you can always go back, and that's important to know. So I left 5 soldiers in this stronghold, and I think I'm happy with that. No. See, I ended my turn. I went back to the back to the transfer men screen, and that counts as a move. Okay, so I'm under attack here. And whenever you're being attacked and you're at your castle, you want to use defensive hold for sure. It's the most conservative attack, and it's best to use when you actually have a garrison. So that's another reason why you would want to build a castle here. 1, it's harder to take. As you can see, I just defeated a larger army. And 2, if you are in an adjacent territory, you will be able to move quickly. It delays the battle long enough so you can come to the rescue of that garrison. So let's try that again. Success. Fed up with this tyranny, vassals in Lincolnshire stage a revolt against Sir Reginald Front-de-Bœuf and seek your protection. Ooh, that's nice. Home castle's attacked. That's not good. This could be the end. Oh, he's done little damage to my battlements. That's key. My main wall there. He's gonna have a very tough time unless he has a very big army, which he doesn't. Let's see if I can repel this with 3 men. It's gonna be close. Nice. See, that's huge, and that illustrates the catapult barrage portion of this game is very, very key. And when I get to that, I'll show you what I mean. But as you can see, he did small damage to my wall there, so he wasn't able to get his men in there properly and rout out my 3 guys. So now I'm probably going to lose this territory, but I mean, I gotta buy some men here. This is getting a little hairy. I don't. This territory is gonna get took no matter what, so I'm just gonna leave 2 guys there. Move back to my home. Hit continue, and because I didn't use up all 5 of my little turns there or whatever, I can still go and buy army. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But once you get into this buy army screen, that's it. That's your turn. Another joust. Alright. Let's see if I'm a little more successful this time. Now, sometimes during jousts, you are given the option to wager territory or leadership. And I've seen some reviews of this game online, namely the Amiga version, where the fellow playing basically won the game by jousting and winning territory after territory, which I kind of thought was cheap, because in the ST version the jousting is quite a bit harder, I think. I'm pretty sure it is, by the looks. I've seen a lot of video of Defender of the Crown, and it looks a lot harder. It seems a lot easier, I should say, on the Amiga. So I'm going to stake leadership, because my character isn't the best jouster. This might be close. Ooh. So it was a shade off from that X on his shield, and maybe a little early on the click. No, I was late and I missed it. So that's the end of me. Cutscene. After collecting taxes, you're sure. You lose half my income. 9 pieces. Damn. And I lost that territory. Good news is my Saxon brethren, well, brother, I lost one there, is doing quite successfully up there in the north. So that's good. You want them strong. You don't want them overrun by the Normans early on in the game. So I just lost my territory here, so that's where his campaign army is. And one thing that might be important to note is that the Normans never attack one another, so the only person for this guy to attack is me. So you can almost guarantee the next turn he'll be attacking that castle, unless he feels he doesn't have sufficient men to do so. So let's see. Well, let's do it. Let's attack this guy. got lucky. Okay, so this is the catapult portion of the game. Now, the point of this is you have to knock down his wall with a set amount of boulders or other projectiles. So you start with 7 days, and I just shot that boulder. Now I have 6 days remaining. So I guess they're trying to tell you that it takes a day to load this thing, which seems a bit long, but that's just how they count the the times you get to load this and shoot it. So first thing you want to do always is get a decent hole going before you start launching anything else. See, I launched that one over. You don't want to do that. You gotta get the timing right. Right there. That's what you want. So at this point I could throw a Greek fire over, but he's got so little guys back there, I think I'm just gonna boulder this thing down. Timing's key in this portion of the game, and there's a shorter distance between clicks as you progress here, so you gotta takes a little practice. That's pretty good there. I got a pretty good hole. So I just took that guy's home castle, so that means I get all his territories. So that's good. We're in business now. Now, I knew he was going to attack there. So this is what I'm talking about. It gives you an option of moving your army to defend, or just letting it stand with the army that's already there. And I'm pretty sure he's got about 200 guys in his army right now. So, you know what? I don't care about that castle. I'm just going to let it stand. Of course, it gets took. And because I got to buy some army here. I do not have an army that can match his at this point. And maybe, just maybe, my friend can help me out and buy me some time. So, seek conquest. Transfer men. I'm going to add 15 to this garrison. Move back to my home. And buy some army. Now, here's a little trick if you're up against a superior opponent. What you do is you attack a castle adjacent to where his campaign is, and he'll likely come running to defend that castle, right? But what you do is you only send one guy, and you fire over a bunch of disease and Greek fire over his battlements, and it's a good way to quickly whittle down his army. See, he's run to the defense. It's a good way to quickly and easily... Oh, 15. Wow. I thought there would have been a lot more. He must have lost a lot of men attacking this castle. So anyway, had he had 100 men here, I could knock the castle wall down a little bit to this point here, and then fire some disease in there, and it would significantly lower his numbers. See, it didn't do anything there because just the nature of disease, you need a lot of men in a confined area to have it really work. But if he had 200 men, I could easily knock off 75 of his men just by firing the disease over the wall. So let's do a real raid this time. With with some real numbers. Okay. So you always have to get the wall down 3 ticks. Otherwise you won't be able to get your other ordnance over the wall. Now another thing is Greek fire will always kill at least one person. So since he's got 2 guys in there, I'm just going to fire 2 Greek fires over, kill them both. They must be heat seeking. And just start the battle, because there's no one left back there. And you always lose a guy. I don't know why, you always lose a guy, no matter what you're doing. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good now. By the way, I almost always win. Fuck it. Let's get serious here. Attack this guy. Now, how did I know that he only had 10 men left in his home garrison? Well, that comes with experience. I know he can't rush back to the defense of his castle because he's way up there in the north fighting my Saxon brother there, but I can't get too cocky. I still have to knock this wall down. Even with 10 men, if I did a really poor job knocking this wall down, he could defeat me. And yeah. You memorize the ticks with experience here playing this game. So that's a perfect wall right there. I didn't miss one. And beating him was a piece of cake because I knocked his wall right down and I had a bigger army. Okay, so the last hurdle. This guy has been pretty much left alone. I mean, I took one of his territories and we had a little skirmish earlier, but other than that, he hasn't really suffered any casualties, and he's also had quite a few territories. So he just purchased some, I know he just purchased some men because I saw a castle go up, so he skipped a whole turn to just build his army. So he's going to have a mucky big army when he comes up after me. So he's going to probably take this territory here, or maybe this one. But when he comes, I know he's going to be powerful. So I have to be really careful at this stage in the game. Also got to be careful about this dude here. I don't know what he's up to. He's right next to my home territory, so I got to be careful about that. So what to do here? I want to win this game. Every decision is pretty big in this game. You can't make a lot of mistakes because of the scale of it. It's quite small little area that we're battling in with only 18 territories. So every decision is an important one. Okay, let's see here. Let's do it. Let's go back to my home garrison and buy some dudes. Buy some soldiers. Okay, buy army. I do buy knights once in a while, they're nice. However, soldiers get the job done and they're 1 gold piece. Norman spy, sabotage, conflict, results, siege weapons. Okay, my garrison under attack. Now, I'm going to move my army to defend because I just want to take a look at how big this guy's army is. I might lose 30 guys in doing it, but let's take a look at what he's got. Okay, pretty weak on the wall siege, knocking down the wall. 75. That's not too massive. He's gonna take a hit here, taking down my 30 guys. But no, we can deal with that. I was thinking for sure he'd be up in the hundreds with his army, so that's good. That's really good. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is kind of an advanced move. So, how many guys did you have left? You had about 20 guys. Alright. So, I'm going to boost my campaign army up to 33. I'm going to move to this territory here, which is in between my home garrison and this garrison here, which means if either one is attacked, I can rush to its aid with my campaign army. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move here. Gonna hit continue, and hopefully I can still purchase some men. Yes. Buy army. Let's do it. How do you like them apples? Okay. You didn't bite, but that's fine. That is fine with me. Now, who is this guy, by the way? Read map. Show Lord. Wolfric. Okay. Hate for me. 6. Wow. Okay, he's definitely an enemy. He is no longer my friend. But I'm not worried about him because he's been sitting up here drawing an income from some pretty pathetic territories. I mean, these don't generate a lot of income. This one for sure. This one does a little bit, but I really have had some really good luck here, and I have territories that are getting me quite a bit of income. So I know his army isn't that strong, so I'm not too worried about it. I got like 100 guys back here. There's no way he's taking that castle. What I am going to do is I'm going to take this guy head on in the fields, not even in a castle. I'm just going to take him man to man here because I got a bigger army than his. Let's do it. Not even seeing Robin for this one. Ooh, it's got more knights than I remember, but it doesn't matter. Oh boy. Oh, wow, we just iced each other to the death. So that's what happens. Okay, here's another little thing that happens. I might as well show you it. Sometimes your friend's wife or lover will be kidnapped, and you're given the option to go rescue her. And that's what I'm going to do. And if I'm successful, we get married, and guess what? I get his territories. You know, he couldn't keep his wife, he couldn't keep her safe, so you know he feels he dishonors himself or whatever, and relinquishes his territories to you. Since you are in fact Saxon, so he's a Saxon too, so I guess that's how it works. Okay, I'm just gonna rescue her. I don't know how successful I'll be. I don't have the best swordsmanship with this character. If it was Geoffrey the Longsword, I'd be in there no problem. So, left click is a jab, right click hold is parry, and it's basically your enemy randomly jabs at you, so you have to wait until he lifts his sword and then you counterattack. So this could take a bloody long time. You know what? I'm just gonna go apeshit with the jabs, because I don't really care. I just wanted to show you this. I know I'm not going to be successful because there's another guy beyond this door who I have to beat as well. So, you know what? I shouldn't have done that because I have to pay a ransom. I get captured if you lose. And she gets returned anyway, but he had to pay a ransom. Yeah. So, anyway, I wish I could have shown you more of that, but Cedric's just... his swordplay is just terrible. I picked him by mistake. I usually pick Jeffrey Longsword. Anyway, back to the game. Let's do this shit. Let's crush that castle. Ooh, 7 guys. Whoops, flew the wall there. Alright, that's pretty good. That's nearly perfect. So, I usually just use stand and fight as my my attack orders. Now, at this stage of the game, I think what I'm going to do is start beating back my Saxon ally, supposed ally here, Wulfric the Wild. He's getting pretty strong. You know what? I'm just going to go for the jugular. I'm going to take him out. I have to at this point. He hates me so much. By the way, the game's over once you defeat all 3 of these Normans. I defeated 2, so the last guy I have to attack is this guy. I know I can beat him. His campaign army is way over here. However, if I move away from this territory here, I won't be able to run back and defend my home garrison if Wulfric decides to attack. So he's just a nuisance, a thorn in my side. I gotta take him out here. I hate to do it, but I mean, I would win the game regardless if I defeat this enemy here. Actually, that's not true. Sometimes, if they have a hate on you so badly, you have to defeat all 3 of these Normans, and then go back and defeat the Saxons. So I might end up having to defeat him anyway. So I might as well do it now. So I'm gonna seek conquest, transfer men, bulk up this garrison a little bit, just to be, proper. And we're gonna attack this territory here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to keep this territory or at least deter him from attacking it by adding a good number of men. And then I'm going to move my campaign here. Now, okay. Now the reason I did that is I wanted to completely cut him off from being able to attack my home castle, because he's my number one threat right now. Actually, I'd say this guy's starting to get pretty powerful, so they're about equal as far as threats. So that at least allows me to wander further away from my castle. It gives me an extra turn to move back and defend, because he won't be able to directly attack it. He can't directly attack from this territory here because his campaign army couldn't cross my territories. And that's one key thing to remember. His campaign army is likely, well, I don't know where it is, but it was over here. I know it's not over here. Okay. Let's see here. $15 guys should be a piece of cake. Let's see if I can get another perfect wall here, perfect hole. Oh, I jinxed myself. Flew that one. And I stubbed that one. So, ooh. And that's where knights come in handy. See, the way the algorithms work, since the hole was so small, well, it wasn't that small, but sometimes switching up the attack orders helps. Okay, my garrison is under siege. Territory of Gloucester. Or Gloucester. Gloucester. Move army to defend. I think at this point, yeah, let's play it safe. Let's defend. See what he's got. See what he has in his campaign. Wow, nice hole. Almost perfect. If he's got more numbers than me, I'm pretty much done. He had more numbers, but that's the thing. Even with an almost perfect hole, he is repelled by a weaker army. Lincolnshire. I wish I had my map. I wish I knew where his campaign army is now. Okay. I guess I could just Google it, but so he just used his turn to attack me. I saw that his campaign army is now, under 30, 15 or something like that. He hasn't had a turn to buy army, so I think this is it. This is where I go for the final blow here. I'm still a little worried about Wilfric the Wild up here. He's a wild man. He could do anything. So if I were unsuccessful, I wouldn't have a chance to return back if he did attack my castle. So, it's kind of a decision time, isn't it? I don't want to lose this one. I rarely lose, like I said. You know what? I'm going to sacrifice these boys. They've done me well, but I'm going to sacrifice them, trying to slow up this guy here. Who the hell is that anyway? I think I already checked, but... Roger Falconbridge, right. Okay. Alright. I'm going to buy army. It's the safe thing to do. So he didn't take a turn off to buy army. So he's going to be showing up with pretty much the same army as last time, which was kind of a dumb move for him. And I repel a second time. So he's hanging out in Lincolnshire, which is... Hold on, until I get my cursor. Right here. That's odd. Anyway, if I were him, I would have bought army. He's probably got a whole whack of treasure right now, which I could go raiding and attempt to steal if I had a character with better swordsmanship. But I got Cedric. He's got good leadership, right? Alright, let's finish this up. Sea Conquest. By the way, I still have 2 trips to Sherwood Forest up my sleeve that I could use, but I don't really need them for this round. This game, this round. I'm gonna take 100 boys. No, I'm gonna leave 100. I'm really worried about Wulfric, so I'm gonna leave 100 guys in my castle. Oh shit. Hit continue, I should have done that. Move army. So, we're attacking the home of Roger Falconbridge. I'm sure he's pleased about that. And he's got a hefty 21 defenders. So, we can't really get cocky here with the knocking the wall down. I'd be really worried if I didn't have those 13 knights, that's for sure. But since we got the knights, and we've got bigger numbers, and I tend not to bungle these catapult things, the catapult portion, I think we're in pretty good shape here. That's a perfect hole. That's what we want every time. And let's just see how. Don't necessarily want to go in clicking because that speeds up the fighting. So you want to kind of wait and see which each of these does. And yeah, we pretty much took that no problem. So look at the territories I got now, and that's it. They didn't make me go and fight Wulfric the Wild up north there, which is, you know, a good thing. And so that concludes the extended version of In Retro Episode 2, the extended play portion. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a great time. Please be sure to visit nerdballoon.com for all sorts of great things like video game podcasts. And it's not just me on the podcast. I mean, if you get sick of hearing my voice, don't worry about that. There's 4 other guys you can that are really cool at nerdballoon.com that like video games too, and we all get together on Thursdays and cut a podcast, as it were. Yeah, feel pretty good about that victory. I'm getting crowned there. There's Robin Hood and Friar Tuck there in the back. Okay, so again, this is In Retro Episode 2 Extended, and hope you enjoyed it. This was Defender of the Crown. Talk to you later. Bye.